Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I have another DIY for you, and it's actually this DIY garland. I was going to be bringing you a charity shop haul today, but I figured I'd wait till the weekend because obviously I posted my last video was a kind of haul vloggy type video. So I thought, you know, this time around I'm going to be giving you a DIY first. So yeah, this is actually made from an item I found in the charity shop, but it's turned out absolutely beautifully and I couldn't wait to share it with you, so I thought I would bring you that video today instead. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the tutorial. So like I said, I made this garland out of something I bought from the charity shop, and that thing was actually this like old blazer. Now it was pretty roughed up, like the sleeves were scuffed and it had a few stains on, but it was perfect for a DIY, and I actually managed to pick it up for just £1, which I thought was great. So I just went ahead and printed off an acorn onto a piece of card just using my printer, and I just cut the bottom of the acorn off. I then went ahead and cut around 2 pieces of the fabric around that semicircle like shape, making sure to leave around about 1 centimetre of excess fabric at the top. I then went ahead and used hot glue and hot glued all the way around the rim of one of the inside pieces, and then put the other one kind of like right sides up onto it so that it was nice and sandwiched and stick together with the right sides on the outside. I went back in and trimmed all the way around the edges to remove any of the glue or just like neaten up the edges and stuff, because I hadn't placed it spot on, so I just wanted to neaten that up. To make the top of the acorn, I just used some of this brown fabric that I had just in my fabric stash. If you don't have a fabric stash, then I really applaud you, because fabric collecting, once you start you just can't stop. But I actually found this brown cotton, which was just perfect. So I glued one strip of like the acorn top to begin with, and I stuck that down to the acorn bottom. I then flipped it over and glued all the way around the outside, and then added a few extra pumps of hot glue just to make sure that it would be fully secure. On the other kind of like top of the acorn, I just glued along the rim of that so it would stick down nicely. I then stuck that down and then pressed down into the hot glue to make sure it was all kind of, you know, stuck together and molded together, and yeah. So I then went ahead and used some brown wool felt, and I just cut off these little bits like so, and then hot glued them onto the top just to make sure they were fully secure. I then thought it needed something a little bit extra, so I went over to my sewing machine and just sewed on a gold stitching around the bottom of the acorn and the top, just to add a little bit of a sparkle and a handmade looking touch. I then moved on, and with some of the lining of the exact same jacket again, I just went ahead and made some leaf shapes. So I printed out an oak leaf on some card again, cut that out as a template, then with 2 pieces of fabric one on top of the other, I just cut them out and glued them in the exact same way as I did before. Using the offcut of that brown fabric, I then went ahead and made like a little kind of squiggle, like semicircle-y, I don't know what you'd call it, like the vein stem bit of the leaf, and I just hot glued that down into place. I then went ahead and took another little offcut of the brown wool felt and just stuck that on the back of like the little stemmy bit of the leaf, just to make sure that it was reinforced a little bit. Once I had that all cut down, I then went over to my sewing machine and just started like sewing on some leaf veins. Are they called veins? I feel like they're not called veins. That would be really gross if they are not called veins, and I've been calling them veins. Anyway, I just went ahead and stitched those on just by going back and forth with the brown thread on my sewing machine. Now at this point I thought it looked a little bit bare again, so I actually went and cut off all of the excess, and then figured I would put a bit of gold on the leaf as well. So I just went over those lines with the gold to add a little bit of shimmer on those as well. To make them to attach to the garland, I actually wanted to use these little wooden pegs, but I didn't have quite enough, so I actually just used some bobby pins. I hot glued down the flat edge and then stuck them down into place, holding them down as they set, and then once they had, I kind of had like this little kind of fastening, which I was able then to just slot on some twine. So I measured out the twine on my sideboard and then just popped them down into place, making sure I could, like, you know, set them even distances apart, and this is what it looked like. I'm really happy with how it's turned out. The fact it only cost me £1 to make with all that fabric from that one blazer, and I was able to recycle it into something that I know I can use year after year is just fantastic, and obviously it's super sustainable as well as being cheap, so what's not to love? So yeah, coming a little bit closer, you can see on my sideboard, I have just kind of like put it up with this like, I don't know what you would call this, like vase type thing, just to hold it in place. And yeah, it's come together really, really well. I basically just popped some twine on. I've got a candle holding it up that side, and then with the bobby pin, I just slid them on. So you can, of course, just like take them off, take them on again, just by sliding the bobby pin back on there. That way it allowed me to, you know, get it really even, spaced apart and everything. And to be honest, at Christmas time, I'm going to be making another garland to go across this sideboard. So I thought it'd be quite useful to be able to just pull them off and then put some Christmassy bits on there as well. Forward thinking, you know, save the twine. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, as it really does help me to know what type of videos you like, what type of things you're like engaging with, want to see more of, and that sort of stuff. As obviously half of the reason why I do these videos is for other people, as well as for my own kind of creativity, gratification, all at the same kind of time. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this one. My next video is going to be another DIY. It's in collaboration with some really, really great YouTubers here. And yeah, I can't wait for that one. And I'll bring you a thrift haul on the weekend. So hopefully you have a fantastic day, and I will see you again soon for those ones. Bye!